Once again, this is Scott Lewis here with Inside Fighting Radio, and right now with former Dallas Cowboys defensive end and now American top team prospect, we're with Greg Hardy. How you doing today, Greg?
I'm good.
Good, awesome to have you here, man. So I just saw recently, I believe you had your pro MMA debut.
Yes,
sir. Let's take us back to that night. You got a knockout victory. Take us back and tell us how that went down for you.
Well, I wasn't pro yet. My first one is my pro debut is going to be on Contender Series.
Okay, so the pro debut's on the Contender Series. That was an amateur fight,
yes, sir.
And you won by knockout.
Yes, sir.
So
LFA.
take it back to that night and tell us how that went down for you.
It was a good night, man. LFA blessed me with the opportunity to come in, put some work in. I went out, just followed the game plan. It was a really tough competitor. Trained hard, man, and it just came to fruition, and I got the knockout quick.
Was there anything in the fight that you weren't expecting to see that maybe kind of surprised you, or anything from the MMA game? Because obviously training's one thing.
Yeah.
When you actually step into the cage and fight, it is a whole different world, as you now know.
Yes, sir.
Anything that caught you by surprise or anything you weren't expecting that night?
Honestly, training here at American Top Team with just the best guys in the world, there's not a lot that I don't get to see on a daily basis. So I went to the ring comfortable, just ready to make adjustments if I needed to, and I let it come to me.
Do you have any wrestling background or anything? Or
no, sir.
So
I have no background at all.
So you're obviously a world-class football player, one of the best defensive ends in football at one point, and you transition now to mixed martial arts. What's your strength? I mean, obviously, it might be a little obvious to say your strength would be your strength to athleticism, but what do you think your strength is when it comes to mixed martial arts?
Honestly, I think my strength and athletic ability right now are my weakness. It inhibits me from being able to learn the techniques and take the time to get the drills and everything right. So I feel like right now my best ability, my best quality is my coachability and just my ability to adapt.
But the strength and athleticism is actually holding you back a little because sometimes you react with the athleticism instead of the technique, right?
Yes, sir.
Makes sense, makes a lot of sense. So you just mentioned the Contender Series. Being a big name in the NFL, obviously it's going to help lead to some opportunities if you continue to pave the way like you did at your most recent fight. And now you've got the Contender Series. It's a big platform. You got Dana White watching. I believe they have Snoop Dogg that does the videos afterwards. Your thoughts on that opportunity with the Contender Series?
It's a big opportunity, man. For one, just the biggest elephant in the room is Mr. White giving me an opportunity to come back and make my second chance debut on the Contender Series. So I'm without words for how much I'm appreciative of him letting me come in to you guys' realm, to you guys' world, and actually make that debut. And just secondly, it's a big stage. It's the UFC, and I guess coming from 3 amateur fights, this is as big as it gets for me. So I'm really excited, just really humble, and really appreciative, actually.
Yeah, and you mentioned the second chance, and
yes,
obviously the unspoken elephant in the room, there's some past transgressions that you've had, some issues that you've had,
yes,
that kind of created some problems with the NFL.
Yes,
now, obviously, you mentioned a second chance. But what are you looking to not only accomplish inside the cage, but as a human? What are you looking to be able to kind of show with now your entry into mixed martial arts and moving forward?
That's awesome that you said that. I'm actually just trying to show that I am a human, that I'm able and capable of correcting my mistakes and making mistakes and coming back from those mistakes that I've made and becoming a better person, becoming a better mixed martial artist day by day, becoming a better man, a better father for my son and a better example just all around. I have a lot of people watching me, and it's time for me to be that, and this place has honestly helped me with that tremendously.
I've always, thing I love about mixed martial arts is I always found it a very humbling sport. And I'm assuming for someone like you, world-class athlete, dominating in your game, it has to be extremely humbling to step in with guys like King Mo, Andre Arlovsky, Junior Dos Santos. So your thoughts on that, training with American Top Team, and how humbling it has been, if you will.
I mean, first it's just crazy to be in the ring with those guys after watching them on TV, after seeing them on ESPN and this, that, and the other, seeing them destroy people. But secondly, just being able to do so much physically and coming here and being humbled on the daily, being choked out, being knocked out, is a whole new experience, honestly. It makes you a better person. It makes you reach deep down and come from a different place, because the same guys that are knock you out are the same guys that are, picking you up, saying thank you, bless you, and it's just, it's a wonderful experience, man. I feel like everybody should get into this at some level, some way, some point in time in their life, because it changes you.
Yeah, they always say jiu-jitsu changes lives, mixed martial arts changes lives, so it's awesome to hear it coming from you. You have the world-class athleticism, you have a world-class team around you. What are you expecting from Greg Hardy in your career as you move forward as a mixed martial artist?
Right now, honestly, I'm just going to continue my search and to find people that want to help me, want to accept me, and give me an opportunity like American Top Team. And I want to go out and make those changes. I want to go out and, you know, represent this place as best that I can. You know, give these guys the same, you know, life that they're giving me. So I think that's my next move.
And for everybody that's tuning in to the Contender Series to see Greg Hardy fight, you know, what can we expect from you as a mixed martial artist?
Same thing you expect as a football player, man. A show.
Sure.
It's going to be a whole lot of entertainment. You know, I'm holding my skills. I'm working on my focus. I'm working on the basics, the details, so that I don't have to use my athletic ability. And when I unleash it, man, I think it's going to be a beautiful combination for the fans.
We'll look forward to seeing it, man. Once again, Greg Hardy right here on Inside Fighting Radio.